thought you'd like to be the first to see the poster for the movie. Enjoy, Mark Ruffalo.
One of the most unexpected social media mishaps in basketball history just rocked the WNBA. The Indiana Fever accidentally posted a graphic revealing their 6-player protected list for the expansion draft. You're scrolling through your feed when suddenly, boom, a post from the Fever stops you in your tracks. Their strategy, out in the open for the world to see, and what happened next? Absolute chaos. The internet hasn't stopped talking since. The post featured none other than head coach Stephanie White with names like Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull, Nelissa Smith, and Tam Fagbenle. If you follow the WNBA, you know this isn't just a random lineup. These are key players you'd expect the Fever to build their future around. But here's the twist. They deleted the post within an hour. Sounds like damage control, right? Not fast enough. Screenshots spread like wildfire, and before they could blink, online forums were buzzing with analyses and theories. Fans immediately started connecting the dots. Was this a real leak? A mistake? Or let's go full conspiracy mode, a calculated move to shake things up before the draft? Whatever the case, it became the league's hottest topic, raising eyebrows and turning the spotlight squarely on the Fever. But here's where it gets even juicier. This leak doesn't just affect Indiana, it sends ripples through the league. Think about it, now other teams are potentially adjusting their draft and trade strategies based on this supposed insight into the Fever's plans. And let's not forget the psychological element. Players whose names weren't on that list might be questioning their place on the team. It's the kind of drama that turns an ordinary draft into a chess match with high stakes. Let's dive deeper into the 6 names that turned the Indiana Fever's accidental social media leak into a massive talking point. First up, Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Let's be real, no one's surprised they're on this list. Clark is a generational talent, coming off a rookie season for the ages, breaking records, energizing fans, and putting butts in seats. She's the kind of player you build a franchise around. And Boston, she's already an elite post player, a true anchor for this team. If you're not protecting these two, what are you even doing? Then there's Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull. Mitchell has been the Fever's offensive rock, consistently delivering when it matters. Sure, she's heading into free agency, but letting her go would have been unthinkable. As for Lexi Hull, her versatility and defensive prowess make her a perfect complement to stars like Clark and Boston. She might not grab headlines, but she's a glue player every team needs. Now, Nelissa Smith. Her inclusion? That's where things get spicy. Smith's talent is undeniable, but let's not gloss over her inconsistent performance on the court and those off-court controversies that have raised eyebrows. Protecting her feels like a gamble, but maybe that's the point. Some argue she's more valuable as a trade chip than as a core piece of the Fever's future. Others think her spot could have gone to someone more reliable. What do you think? Smart move or risky mistake? And then we have Tam Fagbenle. Here's where the debates really heat up. Yes, her defensive skills and veteran presence are assets, but choosing her over younger, up-and-coming players like Grace Berger, that's a tough pill for some fans to swallow. Now let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture, the WNBA Expansion Draft, and what it means for the Indiana Fever and the league as a whole. With the Golden State Valkyries set to debut in 2025, the December 6th Expansion Draft is shaping up to be a pivotal moment. This is where the Valkyries will select players from other teams, shaking up rosters across the league. And here's the catch. Teams can only protect 6 players. Think about that. Every franchise is forced to leave some talent exposed, including free agents, creating a high-stakes balancing act between protecting their core stars and keeping valuable depth players safe. For teams like the Fever, who are on the rise after years of struggle, this draft isn't just about filling a roster, it's about setting the stage for their long-term success. The Fever's apparent protected list, thanks to that accidental social media leak, seems to align with what the experts predicted, but here's where it gets interesting. Players like Grace Berger and Damiris Dantas, who may not grab headlines but offer untapped potential and critical depth, are now at risk. If the Valkyries scoop them up, it could shift the balance not just for Indiana, but for the league. What's even more intriguing is the timing. Teams have until November 25th to finalize and submit their protected lists. That's not a lot of time, especially for the Fever, who are now navigating this process under a public microscope. How they respond to this leak, whether they stick to their rumored list or make adjustments, will reveal a lot about their strategy and adaptability. Let's talk about what this leak really means, not just for the Indiana Fever, but for the WNBA as a whole. After years of struggles, the Fever finally turned a corner partner with their 2024 playoff appearance. This accidental reveal shows a team with big aspirations, ready to build something lasting. With Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston leading the charge, Indiana has two franchise players who could rewrite their history and position them as true championship contenders. But here's the thing, the decisions they're making right now aren't just about the immediate future. These moves will send ripples through the league, influencing team chemistry and even the WNBA's overall power dynamics. Take Nelissa Smith, for example. Her inclusion on the protected list might be a gamble that pays off if she becomes a key trade asset, but if her performance stays inconsistent, it could backfire, leaving the Fever vulnerable. This leak also highlights just how strategic and complex the WNBA has become. It's no longer just about building rosters, it's about navigating expansion drafts, free agency, trades, and even public relations, all while under the growing scrutiny of a passionate and informed fan base. The stakes are higher than ever, and moments like these show how every decision matters. Indiana has a unique opportunity here to not just rebuild, but to cement themselves as a top-tier team. The leak may have been a misstep, but it also put the Fever in the spotlight, signaling to the league and fans that they're serious about their future. Now, all eyes are on them to see if they can deliver. What do you think? Is this the start of something great for Indiana, or are they taking risks they can't afford? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who would you have protected, and who should the Fever have taken a chance on? One thing's for sure, this is one off-season twist we won't forget anytime soon. If you're as hyped as I am about what's next, hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and let's keep this conversation going.